For something like this, Kinsey, dog biscuits will not cut it. We are going to have to do something very big. Very, very, very big.
Hi, all. Welcome to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield here with Maureen, Callahan, host of The Nerve. And we are going to jump right in with our favorite topic here on Recollections May Vary. Meghan Markle. Netflix employees are taking home free as ever products as Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand continues to circulate through the company's Los Angeles offices, which we reported a week ago right here on Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. Thank you for watching Page Six, and thanks again to Donna Bowling for that exclusive. According to Page Six, sources claim multiple storage rooms at Netflix's Icon Tower and Epic buildings are filled with as-ever items, including jars of jam, candles, and wine, and Meghan's signature flower petal sprinkles. One insider said that the surplus is so large that staff are freely helping themselves with at least one employee, leaving with around 10 products. A second source, I should say, confirmed there is significant overstock. However, another insider pushed back on the optics, stating that as ever inventory was moved to a separate warehouse and is not officially stored at Netflix HQ. The products remaining on site are reportedly designated for gifting, sampling, and promotional purposes, which is why employees are permitted to take them.
I love that one line, Kinsey, you had from the other Netflix insider pushing back and saying, oh no, like we have them here for promotional purposes. Promoting what? Yeah. You guys announced that you canceled with Love Meghan. It's done. It's done. You know, what other promotional purpose could this garbage serve?
Yeah.
You tell me.
No, I totally agree with you. And while all this is going on, and I know you saw those numbers too that were circulating about how much inventory she had left, which Meghan tried to spin and say, it's because I'm going global. I have yet to see any proof, any inch of her going global.
What about the internet isn't global?
Well, also, you know, there are specific rules if you want to sell food products in different countries. And I just don't think that they are prepared based on the amount of inventory they have to cater to each and every one of those different countries based on what those specific rules are. I mean, if you read reviews from people online, they're like, the top doesn't pop on the preserves. And, you know, isn't that like a sign that that's a nice, healthy... There's no
I would
air
never
there.
consume anything that wasn't sealed, vacuum sealed. You know, I would never do it. And she, oh my God, just when you think she can't, she's always attempting to spin her epic losses as major wins. And you can't fool us anymore. You know, the problem with things that you eat is that they perish.
Yeah.
And if you are hawking something that has a shelf life of a year, then it is full of preservatives that most people care not to take in. You know, it's like what they say about certain foods that they make shelf stable contain the same ingredients that you'll find on like the sole of a sneaker.
Oh gosh. Oh
yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying Meghan's does. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying nobody wants her slop. Like nobody wants her slop. And it's like the Netflix is basically like thrown open the door and said, hey, any employee who wants any of that stuff, have at it, you know?
Please. We need to clear some shelves. When it comes to her selling her product, I did see reports that she was increasing her prices, like the spread going from $9 to $12, tea from $12 to $14, wine from $30 to $35, bookmark free with purchase then $18, the chocolate bars $12 to $14, honey $28 to $32. That's not a great way to get, you know, inventory out the door.
Right, but in Meghan Markle's tiny little head, that's what you do when nobody wants your stuff. When you're trying to move inventory, you raise prices. I think in her mind, she probably thinks like a higher price point is going to make it seem like more exclusive, not less.
I agree with
you know, but she's such an idiot. Like all of the business minds that this woman has had access to, you know, your Jamie Kern-Limas, you know, and that Victoria Jackson, the billionaire cosmetics mogul, right? Who's
Oprah
private jet she's always borrowing, and whose townhouse she probably borrowed for the magazine cover profile in which she had the house guy, whatever, the butler announced her as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, when the journalist showed up and nobody else was in the house rattling around but Meghan. All this like delulu lulu stuff. And I like she will not take advice from a single soul, it seems. It really does.
I was looking at a retail website, and the website is like has no opinion on Meghan Markle whatsoever. They couldn't care less whether we like her or the world likes her, but they were suggesting that it was unethical the way that she repackages things like, oh, look at these Valentine's Day boxes I have, or these holiday boxes I have, and says that she got new stock in when it's the same stock. She's just repackaging it to try to generate some sort of interest in product that's not moving. I mean, it was very it was very logistical the way this article was written, and the way that they were talking about how she basically takes the product that's not moving, slaps a ribbon on it, and says, "Here's the Valentine's Day bundle." And I was like, you got to do what you got to do.
So I was thinking about this. If I were Meghan Markle and my goal was to become an entrepreneur, based on my celebrity, but swerving in such a way that I would be completely taken very seriously by whatever marketplace she was trying to dominate. I guess this would be sort of um, Martha Stewart, Gwyneth adjacent, right? That's what she wants. That's her goal. I wouldn't even call her adjacent. I would not. My bad. If I were her, I would have approached the Olsen twins and
Oh,
said, "Can I take you to lunch? And I would like to pick your brain and tell me how you went from child stars to one of the most covetable fashion lines that is taken seriously, not just by high income women, but by the industry at large. How did you do it? And who advised you? And what do I do?" That's what I would have done.
yeah, that's very smart. I would have done that too, because they are you do pay an ungodly amount of money to wear their stuff, and
And
there
it's
are.
taken extremely seriously. Not like, when Victoria Beckham tried to enter the fashion lane, and she's now well established, but it was really, really, really rough going. And she was not taken seriously by the fashion industry, and she was not taken seriously by merchandisers, and she was not taken seriously by the likes of Anna Wintour. Now Anna shows up front row and sits next to David, and she is taken very seriously, even though it's been rumored for a long time that her ghost designer for many years was Roland Mouret, inventor of the Galaxy dress. That's a whole other story. But there are examples of celebrities where you look at it and you go, okay, that person figured it out and they had a rough row to hoe. I mean, she could even go to Victoria, or you look at them and you go, they knew what they were doing from the very beginning. And part of knowing what they were doing from the beginning with the Olsen twins, I would just my own supposition is that they had enough humility to know what they didn't know,
Mm.
and they knew how to get to the right people, and they took advice and they listened. They have a very strong point of view. They know exactly what they're doing with that line.
Yeah.
But not for Meghan, not for Meghan.
There is a theory out there that there's been a rise in as ever merchandise on eBay. Could it be Meghan? I am of the party that does believe Meghan Markle has an account on eBay where she posts pictures of herself in outfits and then sells that outfit. Like, I do think that
Do
that's
you have
Meghan
evidence
Markle.
of this?
I'd have to go back and watch. I did a long video about it where I was like, here's this, and then here's this. So I'd have to go back and rewatch that video so I could give you a play by play of why we think that this is legit. But when I saw the rise in as ever products on eBay, and then I saw the conversations on Reddit about this too, I thought, dude, that
Kinsey,
this is so her.
okay, so would you come on the nerve for a cultural criminal prosecution and present the evidence that you are able to accrue that Meghan Markle is actually slumming on eBay, on Reddit, probably Poshmark? You know what celebrity went on Poshmark when like the bottom fell out? When Carol Radziwill was fired from the Real Housewives of New York City, she started slinging all of her garbage on Poshmark, including her used underwear.
No, oh my gosh, panties.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That makes me incredibly uncomfortable. I thought you were going to say Bethany, because remember, Bethany got in trouble when a designer who created something custom for her stumbled upon their own product on Poshmark, and it was Bethany uploading a bunch of stuff she just didn't want. Like, as an influencer, she receives a ton of stuff, and she was just throwing all that. Now, she says it was for her charity. Is it Be Good? What's her charity called?
Be strong.
Be Strong. She did say it was for her charity, so I give her that. But
I'd
like,
like to see those tax filings.
yeah, Maureen Callahan wants the receipts. I do think
Always.
I think it's Meghan, and I do remember specifically that it's pictures people have never seen, like that weren't on her Instagram of her in these outfits, and then they're saying, "Here's Meghan Markle in this outfit." They're not saying it was worn by Meghan Markle, but like as seen on Meghan Markle, and then it's a image that looks like it's personally taken. AI can do amazing things, but who's sitting around going, I'm going to make an AI image of Meghan Markle in a $12 Zara sweater.
No, AI is busy trying to figure out how to enslave us all. They're not worried about shilling Meghan Markle's used leftovers. No.
So that's so do you have an opinion there whether or not it might be Meghan or somebody from Meghan's team selling her products as
Oh, I
actual
have
products on eBay?
no doubt. I have no doubt. And also, oh, I'm so happy I'm talking to you because I wanted to talk to you about this. Have you read any of these reports that Harry and Meghan are in so much financial trouble now that they very quietly, maybe possibly listed their home? Like it's not a listing, it's like a pocket listing that like they're considering selling, unloading the Montecito $14 million mansion because they just can't afford it.
Mm. Let me, I will call my friend at Sotheby's because I was trying to get a friend of mine who lists properties in Santa Barbara and Montecito to appear on a documentary about Meghan Markle and talk about the properties in that area.
Hmm.
And he was afraid to have any association. I mean, this is like a regular thing here too. Like I would try to pitch a publicist on something about Prince Harry because his birthday was coming up. Can I get
Okay.
some? And the publicist would be like, we want nothing to do with the Sussexes. Like, no, we don't want to be in a story including the Sussexes. And this realtor was like, I don't want anything. I don't want to be in a documentary about Meghan Markle.
Wow.
I don't want the association, but I wonder if that person, based on their proximity, based on the fact that they work in that area,
Yeah.
if they would have knowledge of those whispers. I'll have to call him and see what he says. That's wild to me.
They might, because I also talked to Lady C, and she told me that Harry isn't even getting what's reported for those private he's like a hired public speaker now, like corporations will hire him for whatever it is he has to say. And she said she hears he's getting closer to like 30 to 50K.
Mm, I even think that's too big.
You do?
I do. I really do. Because he doesn't come like the last one, the real estate one, he didn't come prepared with any formal speech. I mean, he sits down and gets lost in his own insecurities and starts talking about his dead mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey friends, want to hear a secret? Creatone by Brickhouse Nutrition was developed by doctors specifically for women. It powers your body at the cellular level, supporting steady energy, sharp focus, and better overall output without the crash or burnout. Creatine is known for weightlifting performance, but its benefits go far beyond the gym. Research suggests it may support brain function, reduce fatigue, improve mood, and help preserve muscle and bone as we age, even if you rarely lift a barbell. Creatone stacks seamlessly with most supplements, especially protein and magnesium, and was designed to complement, not compete with your current routine. With daily use, energy feels more consistent, your body feels stronger and more balanced, and your shape looks visibly toned. Confidence grows right alongside your results. Try it and feel supported, energized, and strong from within. Let me get you started with 20% off your first order. Visit tonetoday.com, promo code Kinsey. That's promo code Kinsey at tonetoday.com.
Lady C pointed out something that I had forgotten, and this because like it's a whiplash trying to keep up with these two and their loser antics. But when they first landed in America post Megxit, and he was hired to speak by
The
JP Morgan
Obamas.
Chase.
The
No,
Obama.
JP Morgan Chase in
Oh,
Florida, and they paid him $1 million.
oh yeah, I do remember that. But wasn't that through Obama's speech management team? They were sharing like a management team or a booker, a
I
speech?
don't know, but for me, the salient point is he once commanded $1 million a speech, and now he's lucky if he's making 30K.
Now he's
And
taking
a
pictures in a
30K
Toronto
is
Hilton.
exactly. And listen, it's a lot of money to any of us. 30K is a lot of money, but to a prince of the blood who is getting $1 million and is now getting 30K, which by the way, his booker takes a chunk of that. That's untaxable income. State of California, federal government is taking chunks of that. He's got to pay whoever else, and I'm sure they're not like paying
Security
his
to
security. So what is he netting? Like 5K, 10K at the end of the day?
Let's talk about him because he is set to speak at the IAPP Global Summit in Washington, D.C. This is happening between March 30th and April 2nd. And this feels so weird because the conference is usually geared towards privacy law, AI governance, and cybersecurity. It draws lawyers, policymakers, tech experts who are typically the ones that are showcased. So naturally, Harry's appearance has people scratching their heads. According to the organizers, Harry will talk about whether the digital world is bringing us together or pulling society apart, and what individuals can do to help shape what comes next. Is it ironic to you at all that Harry's going to be speaking at a privacy conference when he has spent the last 6 years airing his family's dirty laundry in every media capacity he possibly can?
Okay, here's what I would love. I would die for this if this were to happen. Die. They introduce Harry to the stage. He takes the stage. Behind him on the enormous screen, this is what I would do if I was running this little show.
I hope it
I
doesn't
would,
involve a frozen Todger. Okay.
no, 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 no. I would take that image of Harry ringing the doorbell in London, looking for his friends, caught on surveillance camera, caught on a ring camera, right? Like this, with the garbage cans behind him, and he looks hungover, like he hasn't been home all night, and he's, perhaps imbibed or ingested something illegal. Just my opinion. I would throw that up there behind him, like and you would get such a reaction from the crowd, right? They would laugh, they would go crazy. And Harry, that dum dum, would think, "Oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm on fire." It would like that's that. I only can hope that somebody does record his speech on privacy in the digital age and all of his thoughts, because you know what he's going to say? This is what killed my mother.
Somehow.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
well, every time he does talk about this type of stuff too, though, it's you behave this way, but Meghan and I have free reign to do whatever the hell we want. Because for Meghan specifically to talk about anti-bullying when the accusations coming out of not only Kensington Palace, but thanks to Hollywood Reporter and Vanity Fair, are that her behavior's basically not changed through Spotify and Netflix. I mean, there's a reason why uh, Meet Me at the Lake hasn't come to fruition. There's a reason why certain things. There's a reason why there's not a real season 3 of With Love, Meghan, and I'm sure it has to do. I should stress it's my personal opinion with her attitude, but like, why, when there are so many people that are qualified to have this conversation, do these companies cheapen themselves by allowing Prince Harry to play expert on a stage? Doesn't it make you have less confidence in this brand, in this company, in this
Yeah.
conversation?
Yeah, and especially if I worked for this company, I would seriously be questioning what I was doing there, because he's completely unqualified and he's got no business speaking to real professionals and sharing his tiny, tiny, narcissistic, navel-gazing thoughts. He seems not to understand that by writing that memoir and his wife signing deals with Lemonada and Spotify, and with the two of them signing deals with Netflix, that they are now in the media.
Mm.
And you cannot have it both ways. So, and again, this is a dummy who came to Americans or said, "I don't understand your First Amendment.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need that." Well, without it, Harry, you wouldn't be able to go on Oprah and talk about how mean everybody in your family was and imply that there were racists among them.
I think that you need to say it for louder for the people in the back that are probably regretting those tickets they purchased to watch all these people. I don't, but also Allison Stoner was on there, and I was from
Who's
Camp
that?
Rock. From Camp Rock. She's also the little girl that dances in the Missy Elliott music video. Remember that cute little white girl from the Missy Elliott music video?
From like long, long ago? But
Yes.
who is she now? I don't know the
That's what
name.
I'm saying. Like like you think, because actually I found out about this because somebody that did feel qualified to speak at this reached out to me and said I was rejected from this panel, and this is so devastating for me because I asked myself, how is Harry qualified to be there and I'm not? And I get that, and I'm sorry that they had that experience, but I also am like, but Allison Stoner, like
I mean, that's really scraping the bottom of the barrel. You know, you would think that Harry, he's on, wait, is he going to be on a panel? Is it a
he's
panel discussion?
no
He's not even speaking solo?
No, I think he gets his own time to shine. I mean, but he might be sitting there with other people, but I do believe
That's
that he's
humiliating. That's
yeah.
humiliating. He should not be on a panel. You know, that is like you're not special. You're just like it literally they're just trying to gin up some, I guess, kind of star power.
Yeah.
But I just think again, we talk about this all the time, Kinsey, and it's seeping in, but it's taking a very long time. People who get in business with the Sussexes or hire them for anything always regret it. It always redounds to their detriment, not their benefit. I don't know what it's going to take for people to learn. I mean, we just saw last week, so we haven't spoken since the death of the iconic fashion designer Valentino, but all the reports were that Meghan was trying to push her way into that funeral and get an invitation, which is the height of like lizardly, bloodless, cold, crass, shameless behavior. Who would ever want to associate with a ghoul like that?
Well, it's Diana sitting there holding Elton John sobbing at Versace's funeral. Meghan is always looking for a moment that she can try to mirror her deceased mother-in-law.
But the difference was Diana had a real relationship
Yeah,
with Gianni
I know, but
Versace.
Meghan has no real relationships. That's why it's not weird to her. She has zero real relationships.
I love it when people can explain to me some of her motivations as you just did, because she truly confounds me. Like
Mhm.
I don't understand, and perhaps it's because I spent 12 years in Catholic school, but I truly don't understand people who don't possess shame, who are like literally incapable of feeling ashamed of themselves or embarrassed by anything they've ever said or done. Like, this is why I think she's a sociopath. And by that, I mean, I really think, just my opinion, she is a psychopath. She's busy expending energy trying to get invited to a celebrity's funeral so she can be photographed with other celebrities and again flay the skin of the late Princess Diana so she can wear it like Buffalo Bill when her own father is in a hospital recovering from having his leg amputated, and she thinks we've all forgotten about that. Guess what? We haven't, sister, and we're not going to let it go. You know,
Yeah.
her father can suffer all on his own as far as she's concerned. She's busy over here. There's an AAA plus list funeral she wants to get invited to.
Oh my gosh, my body rejects it. I do totally agree with you about shame though, but the internet and social media have done us no favors there because the grosser you are online, I mean, I love when people comment things like, how can I unsee this? Or how can I unlearn this about you? When people just get online and say crazy things for views and attention. And Meghan has grown up in that era. Like I think that she's adopted that strategy herself.
But I just think it's such a characterological failure. You know, it's such a system failure. And
It's why she was never going to make it in the royal family because they don't have to pursue attention. Attention naturally comes to them. And Meghan could not shut it off. She was always like, gimme, 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 gimme.
yeah, I mean, that's Lady C's theory too about Meghan, is that, you know, she just attention is oxygen to her, and if she does not see her name in print at least once a day, like she can't survive. Like she needs it too bad. It's again why the rest of us, society, the culture at large, is rejecting her. It's too needy. It's too, she needs the rest of us. She doesn't, she not only needs the attention, she needs to feel as though she's better than. That explains that bizarro, insane moment in that cover story where she had to be announced as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, even though nobody was home. You know, she's not right in the head. Just my opinion.
It is a fascinating study for sure. I have to tell you about a total game changer, Peak's Liver Detox Protocol. You may not know it, but your liver handles a lot: energy, hormones, digestion, and even your mood. But with all the stress and toxins from everyday life, it needs some love. Forget harsh cleanses. Peak delivers gentle daily support inspired by traditional Chinese medicine. Their routine uses two simple blends. The first is a warming turmeric mix with cinnamon and black pepper, designed to help the body absorb it better and support the liver while calming inflammation. The second is a ginger and cinnamon blend that helps with blood flow, digestion, bloating, and immune support. The magic is how they work together to activate and flush for better digestion, stable energy, less brain fog, and that light, clear feeling. My energy is consistent now, skin is clearer, and less bloating. That's Peak, where spirit meets science. Redefine your standard of health. Secure 20% off your order and begin your intentional wellness journey today at peaklife.com/Kinsey. That's PIQUE life.com/Kinsey. Let's talk about the royal family, because Prince William and Catherine are planning a visit to the United States this year, tied to America's 250th anniversary, which is a little bizarre since we fought a war to get away from them. But you know what? Time heals all wounds, clearly. Sources say the palace sees this as a major opportunity to reestablish their presence in the States, which I don't know if this is necessary. We'll get into the Epstein stuff, but if I were them right now, I would stay far, far away. I'd lay low, but they have a great relationship with the current president. Insiders claim officials believe William and Catherine represent stability, service, and star power that doesn't rely on controversy, and that U.S. leaders are more than happy to roll out the red carpet for them. In other words, the trip is being framed as a soft power win for the monarchy. But on the flip side, OK Magazine is reporting that Meghan Markle is fuming. I'm sure you're not surprised to hear that. One insider says, what used to be subtle tension has turned into an unmistakable back and forth, with every interview and appearance being quietly compared. Meghan reportedly feels overshadowed whenever William and Catherine step into the spotlight, especially with a U.S. tour that's expected to generate overwhelming positive reviews. It says also that the Waleses are exhausted by the Sussexes. They're not really even on their radar. They're not competing with them. It's a one-way competition. What would you predict? I mean, I can't. I can't. I remember knowing Catherine was returning to Trooping the Color for the first time post-cancer diagnosis. And I remember saying, like, well, we just have to wait and see what Meghan's going to do. And then Nacho posts Meghan's dog biscuits. Like, as soon as Catherine, shows up and we see that she's happy and healthy, there's Meghan's as ever dog biscuits, thanks to Nacho on social media. Like, she's always doing something. What do you predict Meghan Markle will do if and when we see the Wales family in the States this year?
I have no doubt we will see William and Catherine for the 250th anniversary of American independence. And I think it's very interesting because the palace is positioning them as the future. They are the future. It's not Charles and Camilla aren't even joining.
I do believe they're gonna. I do believe they're here in April,
but not for something as consequential as the celebration of, as you said, America defeating the British and getting our independence. Very, very, very interesting, very symbolic. For something like this, Kinsey, dog biscuits will not cut it. We are going to have to do something very big, very, very, very big. This is going to sound as cynical as F.
Are you going to say she's going to be pregnant with a third baby?
No, she's going to adopt. So I think we're going to go big. It's go big or go home time. And the only way to compete with a narrative, and the American media, just like the British media, loves William and Catherine, And William and Catherine are also beloved by like the Hollywood community, no bigger stars. And so we are going to be suffering quite the narcissistic injury because, well, what are we, chopped liver? I mean, we're actually here in America. Like, we're royals here in America. Why aren't we part of this? So I suspect it's going to be something very big. Now, I'm going to qualify this by saying, because at heart, Meghan and Harry are destroyers. They are not positive people who like to put things into the world. They try to destroy. We may also, if we are the beneficiary, say, of a natural disaster, we will insert ourselves into that as we did with the wildfires. We love destruction and disasters. So it may be a darker impulse at work to compete with William and Kate. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
I've thought about because a lot of people have said that there could be a baby in 2026. I've thought about this, you know, if the baby does not come from Meghan's womb, it can't be in the line of succession. And I think that that repositions her in victim mode where she can say, look at how unfair again,
Well,
if,
listen, she can't. She's like 46.
yeah,
It's not she's not
I
can't
think,
carry a baby. She can't conceive a baby. I mean, if she conceived, it would be a miracle.
yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just saying that these are the thoughts I'm wearing a tinfoil hat right now. These are the thoughts that have swirled in my mind that the benefits to her would be because she has been iced out of the royal family. She has no new content. She has nothing else she can say, nothing new to say that will position the royal family as her enemy and keep the fight going. I mean, I know you've seen, I might have sent it to you, like the the talks about the marketing strategy behind Taylor Swift and how there's always an enemy, Kanye West, ex-boyfriend Joe
Hmm.
Jonas, Harry Styles, and how
Blake.
it evolves and people can continue to stay emotionally invested in her. And I think Meghan did the same with the British royal family, but it's peaked because the royal family won't talk to her and they won't give her any new material, so she can't say so and so said this and I'm upset all over again. And if she were to have a baby that was adopted and that baby was not in the line of succession, that would she would be able to
It's a great
position herself
storyline.
as a victim all over
Yes.
again. And the
And
royal
she
family
would
are
be the
going to
victim,
die.
not the baby. She is the
Yeah,
victim. Let's get it right. You know, the
exactly.
other thing I love about this, so just pumping these things into the bloodstream and saying the unsayable, speaking the unspeakable, will hopefully actually prevent her from any of these dastardly plans because that baby would just be an accessory as the other two are, as we know. Let's talk about it because she's going to attempt something really big that is a very consequential, like adopting a baby, having a baby, that is a huge, huge thing. But people like her, lizards in human form, will stop at nothing, as you said, to get some attention.
Well,
So
there's
let's like make it not a surprise.
so like I've seen several. I got people were mad at me for mentioning this, but several astrologers, psychics have predicted it. But I've seen the tabloids reporting it, unrelated to psychics or astrologers, saying that it gives her an out from her failing businesses to be like, I'm in mom mode. Bye. Like I'm gonna go be a mom again, and just so she can disappear for a minute, regroup, and we might forget about some of these colossal professional failures. I mean, failed podcast last year. She had to rename her brand at the last minute. Lost a television series that launched. Lost and launched television series. So it might give us a chance to forget about all of these professional failures for her. But I mean, I'm not a therapist, but I feel like she deals with a lot of narcissism, and I don't know if she has anything available inside of her beyond her love for herself and Lily. But we never hear about Archie, and it's never I love Harry, it's Harry loves me. So I would feel really bad for a third kid is what I'm trying to say.
I would too. That's what I'm saying when I'm saying like it's such a consequential, important thing. I don't think that Megan thinks that way.
Yeah.
I think that the children are accessories to her. That's it. Like
Yeah.
just my opinion. And I think she, what you're saying too, though, about like she could take adopting a child or having another child and using that as a way to step back and say like, well, I'm leaving my professional life for a moment so I can really tend to what's most important. But as we were just saying like 20 minutes ago, like she's not capable of going away.
Yeah.
Like she's said things like that, but like she's really not capable. I mean, remember, this is the woman that piece that went viral. I mean, there are so many of them, but at the polo, after the polo match and this and the trophy is being awarded and Harry is next to the polo, I don't think it was Nacho, but the polo player, and Megan is like worming her way around and forcing herself in between the two of them and like grabbing for the award. And the guy's like, no, it's mine. I earned it. And she's like grabbing and she's in there. And she's like, there's no greater metaphor for her. It's like people are literally trying to squeeze her out and she will not be denied. She's like,
Wow.
I'm getting in there. I'm getting in there. And it's so graspy and disgustingly pathetic, but she doesn't see it that way. It's a spotlight she's got to get.
Oh, I love that. Just want to wrap up quickly with the
Hmm.
chaos surrounding former Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, and the Epstein chaos. I mean, at the end of the day, you are who you associate with. We talk about that a lot.
Mm.
As early as 2026, two people have filed formal sexual assault lawsuits against Tyler Perry, while others have made related allegations involving his studio. And there have been whispers about this type of thing for years in the industry when it comes to Tyler Perry. Might we see similar email exchanges one day from Harry and Meghan and Tyler Perry? Should they be cautious that some sort of litigation is going to hit? And then we're going to see all of these private conversations circulating around due to discovery or something, even in a Taylor Swift, Blake Lively type of way.
It's entirely possible. I mean, isn't Tyler godfather to at least one of those children?
Lily. And we should say he says that he's innocent. But again, I just think that their actions mirror so much of Fergie and Andrew. They're so desperate for a paycheck. They are, they're not doing their due diligence about who they're. And I like Tyler Perry. I've met him. I've interviewed him. Like he's cool, but these stories aren't going away. I just don't think that they do enough research when it comes to who they allow in their circle, as long as it makes Meghan look good for a minute. Like she loved being able to say, screw you, British royal family. I'm jumping on Tyler Perry's private jet to get the hell out of here.
I'm jumping on Tyler Perry's private jet. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How pathetic. How pathetic. At the end of the day, they're all sort of star effers,
Mm,
and they're all, and one of the things that, it is kind of related, you mentioned the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni dump and everything that we're seeing. And one of the things I'm most fascinated by is, we're getting a real look at the way these people, these A-listers at that level talk to each other. And it's not like a peer-to-peer conversation. It's not the way that you and I talk or any of us talk to our friends. It's like, oh my God, you like Ryan wrote to Colleen Hoover, the author of that terrible novel, It Ends With Us. Colleen, oh my God, I'm standing in my kitchen and I am happy clapping and jumping up and down. And he goes, Effity, Effity, F, you guys did it. I'm sending it, like it is so
cringe.
it, like it's beyond. It's like the amount of energy it takes to talk to somebody like that, and again, not experience any kind of shame or a loss of one's dignity, and think, by the way, that the recipient is going to receive that communique as genuine and not a gross attempt at sucking up to get what you want. You want something from me now. I know you really want something from me, and I don't like it. This is a transactional relationship. We're in business together, you
Yeah,
know but it's the same with Harry and Meghan, and
very.
it's no accident that we really don't see Meghan hanging around with any A-list friends. Like we never see it. I don't think they exist.
I agree. Well, do you agree with us, disagree with us? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And make sure you head on over to The Nerve and subscribe to The Nerve with Maureen Callahan on YouTube now or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next time. Bye, guys.